Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the post-match press conference of our game against Kerala Blasters. With me is head coach Buckingham. Floor is open. Please introduce yourself before asking the questions.
Hi, I'm Tavares from Kerala. Question is regarding Joel Vander's red card being there. So the same question I asked. So how will it affect Mumbai City's FC's game after the break, and it's especially against Hyderabad?
Yeah, I haven't seen what the red card was given for. I think there was too many bodies in and around, and I was looking somewhere else when it happened. So I don't know what it's been given for. So look at that first and comment on that. Well, I won't comment on that. I'll deal with that. Because yes, we don't want to lose any players. That's the first red card I've had since I've been here, and I just spoke to the group. It's important that we have fight. You have to have fight in the game. You have to work and do that. You have to have control as well, because we can't lose players. We have a very busy schedule, and we need everybody. So the good thing is, you've seen Apuia now. He's missed a pre-season, so we're slowly building him in, and he's very keen to play more football. But he's also aware that when he does that, or he's done that before, it could. Short term would be fine, but longer term, when we need him, could be a problem. But 2 weeks now to our next game against Hyderabad, Apuia will be fit, fully fit. We'll have the game against Al Hilal also under our belts. So we'll have plenty of practice for that. So we have the players to cover, but I don't want to be covering players very often at all, especially for red cards.
Hi, this is Nikolai from the ISL Media. A scrappy win for his side. How pleased are you with the performance of the team?
Yeah, I think when I look back over the last 2 weeks, or 3 weeks, we're at home in Pune for Champions League, which was 3 days away for us. We then went to North East. We were in North East for 3 days. And then we stayed in, direct from North East, went to Odisha. And from Odisha, we went straight to Uzbekistan. And the Uzbekistan trip, I'll share with you now, because I didn't want it to sound like an excuse before the game. Uzbekistan was 2 indirect flights, one into Dubai, a 5.5, 6 hour layover in Dubai, then another 4.5 hour flight to Uzbekistan, another hour on the coach. So a total time of 19 hours from leaving the hotel to get into the hotel. So that with the game, and then obviously travelling back at that same travel schedule, for the players to do what they've just done and work as hard as they have, I'm extremely pleased with. We obviously have a way that we want to play, which is attractive, attacking football, but sometimes you don't get the chance to do that. We've come up against a very good Kerala Blasters side, very good players, and they made it very tough, and other teams will this year, we know this. So we need to find different ways to win. And that fight and that aggression and that determination, especially off the back of what's been a very long and tiring 2.5 weeks, was very good to see. But like I said, it's making sure that when we have to do that, we also have to have control.
Hi guys, congrats on the win. Just your thoughts on the refereeing. I mean, it kind of went out of control in the end. I think if my counting was right, there were 10 yellows, 2 reds, so kind of got out of hand in the end. What were your thoughts on the refereeing?
Yeah. Trying to avoid those questions if I can, but we've played 19 minutes of injury time in the second half, and I think when you don't deal with small issues, they then become bigger and bigger and bigger, and eventually something happens. And for the first 80 minutes, the game was very good. 2 good teams trying to play against each other, and then it becomes scrappy, and it got more scrappy as the time went on. And of course, when you add 19 minutes on, and I know there was breaks within that, and I've no complaints with that. That's a long time for players to play. They're not used to playing that long. So you get more fatigue, more tired, maybe more poor decisions. And then it's up to the referee to try and manage and deal with that. We can only manage our players and try and control our players the same way I'm sure Kerala do. And it's up to the referee to manage the rest.
Hi coach, apart the opening goal, we could see that Kerala really absorbed the pressure on the side, struggled to break them down despite having more control of the ball. Until that point, did you feel you had to tweak the plan because it was certainly not working?
Yeah, we said at half time, even though we had the goal, it was, the teams sit back, make it difficult. We know this, especially when we're at home. The one thing we spoke about half time, we have to move the ball quicker. We have to be a bit more positive in the final thirds. And the pleasing thing was we kept creating, and eventually you keep creating, teams can't sustain that much pressure anywhere. And we know that teams that play against us, when we have to do that, you can't continue to do that. You have to be very fortunate to survive your goal. So the pleasing thing was that we went in 1-0 at half time. We created a few opportunities, but the players stuck true to what we do. But the one thing was is ball speed. You have to move the ball quicker. When teams play like that and they sit deep and they sit very compact and organised, our ball speed needed to be quicker for us to break through. So, but like I said, when I look back at the fatigue and the tiredness and then the way they've adapted, very happy with that.
Well, just a last question from my side. Apuia got on the score sheet today. He's always excelled as a defensive midfielder, but you've handed him that new role, attacking role, and he seems to be enjoying it a lot. Will we continue seeing him being played in that role?
Look, I can't speak highly enough of Apuia. He's a young player, he's 22. I've worked with him now this is my third season with him. When I come, he was a defensive midfield player who'd had a good breakout season with North East. He is so open-minded to try new things, to learning. His attitude is as good as it can and should be for a professional footballer at this football club. And he tries to improve his game every day, both on and off the field. So because of that, he gets himself more minutes on the field. That's why he's playing as many minutes as he is and has since I've been here. And he's starting to reap the benefits of that. You know, he scored, I think, 3 goals last year or 4 and got himself an assist. He's got his targets this year to try and improve that. But the beauty of that is if he can develop his game further forwards, we know he can play in a deeper line role, and that will only help enhance that role when he goes back to playing that, because he'll be able to understand and see those movements further forwards that will hopefully help link his game playing forwards.
Thank you. Hi coach, the fans of both the teams were exuberant today. How would you describe that from the sidelines, and especially after your team scored the second goal?
What was the last bit, sorry?
After your team scored the second goal.
Yeah, I think when we arrived at the stadium, it was a very good mix. I think it's probably 50% of Kerala Blasters and Mumbai City. And we know Kerala are hugely supported around the country, definitely in their own place, but certainly when they travel away. And I can say that because when we played Champions League last year away in Saudi, we actually had 5 or 6 people in the stands with Kerala shirts on supporting us. And that creates a wonderful atmosphere. When you get 2 sets of fans who can cheer their teams on and are involved in a game like that, where it's, again, hopefully respectful to an extent, and they can have the back and forth that they do. That creates a wonderful atmosphere on the pitch, and all the Kerala fans certainly that I've come across, both away from the stadium and certainly in here, they cheer their team on extremely well, and they create a wonderful atmosphere alongside what has been an ever-growing fan base here in Mumbai for us.
Any further questions? Okay. Thank you so much. Thanks everyone. We'll see you at the next home game against Hyderabad on October 28th.
Thank you. Thanks.